is Paul. Yeah. hmm I'm just getting going here, and I thought I'd have a look at what's known as Title IX, the crimes and the punishments. Yes. Now, they have in this what is known as sabotage. Yeah. Barratry. hmm Corporations and crimes relating to. Yeah. Interference with court. Oh. hmm Identity crimes. Yes. False representations. Petition misconduct, yeah. Frauds and swindles. Oh. And then juries, crimes relating to, yeah. Legislature, crimes relating to, oh. Malicious mischief, yes. Malicious prosecution. Then duty of witnesses, yeah. Perjury, uh-huh. Privacy violating right of, yeah. Subversive activities, yeah. Treason, flags. Miscellaneous crimes, yeah. Punishment, sentencing, restoration of civil rights, agreements on detainers, and criminal street gang definitions. Yeah. Now, I have a few hours today. Yeah. What really caused me concern is what's known as malicious prosecution, abuse of process. Now, in the last week, we really went through the evidence that I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. Yes. And I gave you an email that I sent that day, and of course, an email that was obstructed at 4:48 p.m. At the same time that the Sequim Police Department said I was in Sequim, Washington. Yes. And I said, well, it just it makes absolutely no sense. Just give me every IP address and every email address of every web search of everywhere in the world. Yes. I'd like to email them all. That would be all of humanity that uses the internet. Yeah. Now, I thought for sure that you were wanting to arrest me for attempting to contact the petitioner. And we can probably get out the restraint provisions again. Malicious prosecution, abuse of process. Now, I gave you the screen prints from June 16th of 2017. Yeah. Malicious prosecution, abuse of process. Now, I thought for sure that as soon as you had knowledge of a crime, yes, you had the obligation of the punishment for the crime. Yeah. Now, it seems like there's some reluctance to punish those that are criminal. They print these laws with the intention that you are actually going to force them. See, Title IX of the RCW's crimes and punishments. Yeah. hmm And I'm sitting here. I haven't talked to my sons. No. I haven't talked to Marilyn. As far as I know, I'm not going to be residing in a hotel tonight. Yeah. And all of that is because of your refusal to enforce what is known as crimes and punishments. Yeah. Could you explain how it is that the state of Washington defines what crimes are and the actual punishments? Yes. And then when I give you the evidence of crime, you refuse to acknowledge it. You just won't acknowledge that there is such a thing as crime. Now, it could be that you need to resign from law enforcement. Yes. And you need to go to prison because I'm going to sue you. So let's see. If it says malicious prosecution, abuse of process, and you issue a protection order where there's forgery, fraud, and felony, yeah, and you have me arrested for the fraudulent crimes of violating it, and then you use fraudulent mental health evaluations known as abuse of process, yeah. Is there any possible way, yes, that I actually do have the right to sue you? Well, it seems that you don't really believe that I have that right. If you did believe it, you would have given me my sons by now. Now, you do or don't believe that the actual 9 RCW of the state of Washington, yes, that there are crimes and there are punishments. Well, obviously, you made up a fraudulent police report called a traffic citation. Yes. And then you said I was someplace where I wasn't there. And then you covered up your crime using mental health evaluations. Yes. And then when I inform you of that, yeah, you decided to do it again in 2017. Malicious mischief, injury to property. Yeah. hmm Now, malicious telephone harassment, public nuisance, public nuisance. I thought malicious prosecution, abuse of process. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Now, just scrolling down here. Yeah. Telephone cyber stalking. 9.61.260. Yes. A person is guilty of cyber stalking if he or she with intent to harass. Obviously, one email. Yeah. In 4.5 years is not harassment. It's not intimidation. Yeah. I'm not attempting to torment. There was no embarrassing words or anything embarrassing. Electronic communication such other a person or third party. Now, the pro bono attorney for the law firm of Eric Holder, yes. Um, I don't think I was being tormenting. Then there's 9.62.010, malicious prosecution. Every person who shall maliciously and without probable cause, therefore, yes, cause or attempt to cause another to be arrested or proceeded against, yes, for any crime of which he or she is innocent, if such crime be a felony, is guilty of a Class C felony, yes, and shall be punished in the state correctional facility for not more than 5 years. Oh. If such crime be a gross misdemeanor or misdemeanor, they shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Sequim Police Department, Prosecuting Attorney of Jefferson County, Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, Brendan School District, yes. Public Defender Jack and Public Defender Bruce Hanafy, yeah. Prosecuting Attorney Mark Nichols, ouch. Prosecuting Attorney, yeah. Um, I'm going to want to sue you for at least a misdemeanor. Yes, he does. Now, instituting suit in the name of another. Yes. Every person who shall institute or prosecute any action or other proceeding in the name of another without his or her consent and contrary to law shall be guilty of a gross misdemeanor. Yes. Now, let's say you issued a protection order in the name of Heidi Budnick. Oh, and who shall institute or prosecute any action or other proceeding. Yes. But Heidi didn't acknowledge. Well, then that would be a crime. 9.62.020. Yes. And since she didn't acknowledge it and she wasn't there, yes, I'm going to want Brent Baisden put in prison without his or her consent and contrary to law shall be guilty of a gross misdemeanor. Yes. Now, obviously, they wrote this law because somebody has done this before. Yes. Instituting a suit in the name of another. Every person who shall institute or prosecute any action or other proceeding in the name of Heidi Lee Budnick, yes, Paul Chad Budnick, oh, the name of the 5 minors, yes, without his consent as in notice and opportunity to be heard, yes, contrary to the requirements of the RCWs of the state of Washington, 14 days, yes, can't be any forgery, ex officio superior court clerk. You all shall be guilty of a gross misdemeanor. Oh. Now, I'm going to want this crime enforced, the 9.62.020. Yes. And I'm going to want this crime enforced 9.62.010. Yes. And then I'm going to want what is known as, yes, 9.62 RCW. Yes. The punishment, malicious prosecution, abuse of process. Yes. Now, if you in the sheriff's department, yes, and you in the police department right now would enforce what the state defines as crimes, I'd like to sue for the punishment, yes, inclusive of the $2,500,000 bail. Could you do what the law says?